All right, guys. So here it is. I've been talking about it for months. If you guys have known me, I've been sharing how excited I am. I can't share it yet. I can't share it yet, but now we can. I'm excited to announce what our partnership is here with Success Mortgage Partners and the two of the owners, Owen Lee. What's going on, Owen?
How you doing, everyone?
I'm fantastic. And Kevin Broughton.
Broughton. How are you, buddy?
Broughton. What's up, Kevin?
Krem, good to see you. Thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
It is fantastic to see you too. And this wouldn't have happened, all of us getting together, if it wasn't for my man sitting right beneath me, Frank Dippold. What's going on, Frank?
Good. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic. So as you guys know, if you guys want to learn how to triple your business without spending a dime in leader ads, get first access to what we're talking about here, just comment first access and we'll make sure you guys get to that. But I want to start this off because this whole partnership started to form before I was even in the picture. So Frank, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey in the mortgage industry and how you came upon Owen and Kevin here?
Oh, yeah. I'll make it quick because it's been, we say the mortgage industry is like dog years, so 1 = 7. But before I got into mortgages, I was buying and selling real estate. Don't quote me for the age, but it started in 1995, right? And then in 2001, I got in the mortgage business, owned 2 mortgage companies, but always struggled with operations. And getting loans closed isn't the easiest thing in the world. Fast forward, a couple of years ago, I meet these guys, complete alignment. They're like, we close loans like crazy. I believe them. I transferred my whole branch. We were doing a little more volume than we are now because obviously the market shifts a little bit. But I moved over with a $25 million pipeline and they closed it like it was nothing. But the most important thing isn't the closing of the loans. The most important thing is their heart for helping people and the family culture and environment that we have at the company. So I said, I got to be with these guys and I got to retire with these guys. And hopefully it doesn't take me 30 years to retire, but I'm really excited to be partnering up with them and you.
Was it something specific that you saw in Kevin and Owen that made you say, like, you know what, you've been around the industry, you had your own company, you've been in other places. Was there something specific that stood out to you?
Well, Kevin explains things with a lot of clarity and smoothness. I used to consider myself a great salesperson until I met him. And I'm like, shoot, he's way better. Even Jasmine in marketing, my marketing director was like, Kevin explains velocity money better than you. That's okay. But also, and then with Owen, Owen's on the board of the MBA. Owen's the perfect CEO of a mortgage company. And they're just on their game. They're not resting on last year's volume. They're making swift changes, aggressive changes to stay in front of the mortgage business. And I was like, you know what? At some point I realized I should do what I'm great at. Tony Robbins told me that 30 years ago, but I didn't listen. Do what you're great at and let the other people help you do what they're great at. And that's how you get to the next level. So that's why I partnered with them.
I love it. And Owen, why don't you give us a brief history of Success Mortgage Partners and what brought you guys up to this point?
Oh, geez. Well, so we'll go brief, but we'll go important points.
Yeah.
I'm an attorney by training, and I started off working at a gigantic law firm, offices on 4 continents. And I loved the work. I didn't really like the environment. I looked around and most of the people that had climbed to the top of that mountain had personal lives that was just not something I wanted. They had sacrificed their personal life on the altar of work success. And I felt like there was a better way. So I went to work with my dad, starting a title insurance agency. Yeah. And he was a longtime real estate broker, 3rd person in the state of Michigan to buy a Century 21 franchise in the mid 70s. I joke with people. He used to drive me to school. We both wore a uniform. I wore my uniform to St. Fabian grade school in Farmington Hills, Michigan, and he wore his gold coat. So if there's anybody on the call that remembers those Century 21 gold coats, my dad had a closet of them.
Yeah.
And, but, we were always realtor focused because of his background. And we got into the title insurance industry, grew a great agency, fortunate to work with a lot of people. And I think it's because we focused on the purchases and we focused on the realtors.
Yeah.
And that led us to the mortgage business. Started in May 1st, 2002. Started as a mortgage broker. Quickly realized the limitations of that platform. When the Great Recession hit, we were in Michigan and down where you are right now, Nick, in Florida, arguably the two worst states you could be in 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
But we, Kevin joined in 2005 as a partner. So he and I have been partners with my dad for 17 years. My dad's 87 years old. He was in the office yesterday, suit and tie, still gets a lot of energy from having relationships. Kevin actually came over from running the RE/MAX organization in Michigan. I'll let him talk about that. But we've been always very realtor focused, always purchase focused. Refis come and go, but the opportunity to help people own a home, to create generational wealth, to better their families' economic position for generations has always been near and dear to our heart. I lived it with my own father. And he went through something that positively affected him that was very, very close to what Frank now has authored in The Velocity of Money, which I know is going to be great for people.
Going to be great. Yeah.
So we've just been coming to work every day, pounding the rock, trying to be a little bit better tomorrow than we were yesterday. Kevin and I often joke that we say we're in the mortgage business, but really we're in the realtor commission check on time delivery business.
Yep.
Because we're 87% purchase mortgage. Even last year, in the height of all that refi craziness, we were still 74% purchase.
Yeah.
So it's always been our focus, and just really, after pounding the rock for so many years, you have an opportunity to pick up your head, look around, and have, say, hey, this is a special place because I've been able to partner with some great people like you, Nick, like Frank, and we're just very, very fortunate, and we're still loving what we do, and we go out and do it every day. So can't wait to get started.
Me neither. And, Kevin, I want you to kind of touch on the way that you guys grow and bring people on is not something that I heard a lot in the industry. A lot of times it's taking anybody with the pulse into the organization, but that's not how you guys do it. Because I believe who you partner with matters. And when we say we have mortgage expert advisors, I'm confident in saying that because of what you guys do differently. So Kevin, you want to kind of walk us through that a little bit?
Absolutely. And thanks, Nick. I'm so excited for today. And you hit it right on the head. We do not take anybody that has a pulse or has a license. We only work with people that we know, like, and trust. And if we don't have all three, we don't work with you. And so when I met Frank, I knew right away, this is a guy that I would get to know, like, and trust. I liked him the first minute I met him. I got to know him quickly, and then we trust each other implicitly. And it's that kind of mindset that I think makes great partnerships. And it's just like with you. When I met you, I was blown away. I'm a former realtor. I spent 11 years in the real estate business. I got very lucky at an early age in life. After selling homes for 7 years, I was asked to lead the RE/MAX organization in the state of Michigan. I was the regional director for RE/MAX International. And on the day I left there, we had 3,300 realtors in Michigan, working out of about 170 offices or something. And I loved being a realtor. I'm married to a realtor. I believe in real estate. I believe in the American dream. I believe in, like what Owen said, that buying residential property is the cornerstone and the foundation to building generational wealth. And when I met Frank and he told me about the velocity of money, I almost fell out of my chair because I've always believed in that system personally. I own multiple properties that I've been able to retire the debt on those properties largely with other people's money, and was able to get the money for those properties largely from the bank. And when I heard what Frank had taken as a belief system and created an actual product with it, I really dove in both feet. And then he introduced me to you, and I've never met a guy in my life like you. I've met a lot of people in the real estate space, and your energy, your kindness, your smarts, your willingness to work, your work ethic is incredible. Your in creativeness and just things of that nature were really refreshing to me. And it sparked a lot of, I'm an old guy doing this a lot of years, it sparked a thing in me that I get more energy when I'm around you. And I texted you the other day saying I need a little creme time.
You did.
But I think for the folks that you have some influence over, if they would take a serious look at what we do, I think they could literally sell more homes without spending a penny on leads or marketing. And I think an untapped reality that many realtors, unfortunately, don't take full advantage of is that the power of their database. And I think there's a couple of reasons why most realtors don't attack their database fully. And those two reasons are most of them don't have a system to do so, and most of them don't have a message of value. It's kind of hard to call somebody who sold a house 5 years ago to and say, hi, I haven't talked to you in 5 years. I send you a magnet for your fridge, and that's all I've done. And how are you?
Yeah.
You know, and because if that's the message, that's not a message of value. And so what I was so intrigued about is after dissecting fully what Frank created and then looking at your influence.
Yeah.
It's just a great opportunity for anyone to really learn it. I know it well. Frank obviously knows it well. You know it well. Owen knows it well. And if we can help anybody that's tuning in today or has influence with you have a better life, I absolutely believe we have a tool that everyone could benefit from.
And you're absolutely right. There's really no reason for agents to reach out to their past database, if we're being honest, because they, like you said, it's so focused on the next deal, and things that are going on. But I think what we can all agree, what Frank put together is special. What we're calling is the velocity of money, with the goal of having 10,000 everyday Americans become millionaires through real estate. It's not for the investors. It's not for the people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up to go throw into different projects. It's for everyday Americans to become millionaires through real estate. And we have a goal to help 10,000 everyday Americans do that. And the way we can do that is I'll let Frank explain what he's done with the velocity of money and why we believe in this idea so much.
Yeah, so I'll start with the history pre-COVID, right? Because it's now an event in our lives, like pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Yeah.
We did 15 seminars in New York and New Jersey, and we had a lot of momentum because the premise of velocity money is you kind of create the picture of the problem in America, right? Yeah. And then they're slumping over in their chairs, and then you go, but the good news is you're going to be fired up by the end of the seminar.
And what is that problem in America, Frank?
Problem in America is that retirement's elusive, right? So credit card debt, student loan debt, people, keeping up with the Joneses, the system's broken, the people are not of the right mindset. And so even the guy or girl that work at New York Life, I always use this example, that have 400 grand in their 401k, but they might be 42 years old. And they thought when they were 22 that their 401k was en route to be 3 million, because that's what the chart shows. But then they become uncomfortable in the seminars just for a moment. And I show them they're not necessarily in great shape for retirement, but the solution is real estate. So everybody thinks it's 25% down on investment properties. Everybody thinks about flipping and appreciation. Yeah. And that's not the premise. The premise is use the bank's money to buy the property. That's us. Yeah. Use the tenant's money to pay off the property. And then if we could figure out a way to put less money down on some of these down payments, right? We're showing people how to buy 50,000 with 50 grand, buy $1 million worth of real estate. We prove to them that it will be 2 million. And they'll have no debt in 15 to 20 years and retire with 12 to 15,000 a month of cash flow and a millionaire. So when I explain it and I listen to myself and I'm like, wow, the only reason I don't have 10,000 clients already is because I clearly must be terrible at marketing, right? So then I spend time with you and I'm like, well, he's great at marketing. And then I spend time with Kevin and Owen and I'm like, they're great at getting loans closed. So it's literally the perfect storm to take over the country and help middle America retire using real estate. Yeah.
And you know what? And when I heard that idea, especially with what you're able to do, I really saw the way. I had a mentor by the name of Jay Kinder, and he always told me, solve agents' problems. Don't create shiny objects. Don't try and make agents do something that does not really help them. And when I heard of what we'd be able to do with not only helping the end user, and let's face it, guys, in our business, the end user is the homeowner. How many homeowners can you truly help? So that's what we focus on first. And it's like, boom. So, okay, helping 10,000 everyday Americans become millionaires through real estate checks that box. And then I started to think, how can this help the agents? Well, if every year the agent can start curating more leads out of their database, number one, it gives them a reason to reach out to your past database, invite people to it, take renters and turn them into buyers with the belief and knowledge to get them to be a homeowner and then a multiple time homeowner. And on top of that, too, every single year, what if you had a whole lineup of 5 people, then 10 people, then 20 people ready to buy their next home? Instead of starting at 0 at the beginning of the year, what if you started with 20 homes? How much different would that be for your business? And on top of that, too, I always say ideas are a dime a dozen. Great ideas can come and go. But when you have the right people and the right idea with the right passion behind it. That's what I thought was really special with this. So, you know, when I went to Detroit, and, you know, we were following your system, we got to go meet the guys in Detroit. Number one, I was going into it, I'm not going to lie, Kevin and Owen, kind of expecting not to like you guys. Like just how the industry is kind of formed. I'm like, all right, here are the owners of the company. I've been to some of these tables, and here come the chest popping out and talking about numbers. And I was just blown away because none of that happened. None of that happened. We were sitting there getting to know each other, talking about what we believe in, our passions. And I was like, holy crap, this could be really special. Because people like this don't come around often. And when I heard how you bring people on, how we can confidently say each person is a mortgage expert advisor, it all started coming together. And I don't think I've slept too much in the last 7 months, guys. But I've just blinked for long periods of time because I believe in what we're doing here, how it can help agents and help people alike. So Kevin and Owen, when we all came to this, let's start with Owen. When we all came to this table, what were your expectations coming into it? And like, what was the reality for you?
Well, I've learned a lot about you, Nick, since the first time that we sat down. So when I first came to the table, I didn't know a ton about this community and about what you do. And I'm so excited and get more excited every time as I learn about it. But Frank and Kevin were like, hey, you got to come to dinner. You got to meet this guy. I promise you, it'll be worth your while. And I was like, okay. And so, you know, I came with not a ton of expectations because I didn't know a ton. I knew it was a different relationship. I knew you had the ability to reach out to people and had a big megaphone. And I always respect that because I'm not a huge social media guy. I'm not, you know, that's not my forte. And I respect people that can do it and have done it because I have not. And so when I sat down and we were sitting, you know, at 5 restaurant, 1.5 miles north of here, just spending some time together, you know, talking about what was important to us, talking about work history, talking about times we succeeded, talking about times we failed, talking about fulfilling other people's hopes, dreams, and aspirations. You know, and then perhaps there was a glass of wine. I don't really know. But it was just really great to bond. Yeah. And, you know, when Kevin talked about know, like, and trust, that's a foundation that we have at our company. And every time we have a relationship problem, we try to remember to ask ourselves the same question. Do we know them? Do we like them? Do we trust them? And it's amazing how many times when you don't have that foundation, it falls apart. And when you do have that foundation, you have the ability to sit down and chat and work through any issues that you have. It's just a thought process that served us well. I was so attracted to what we talked about that evening. It was some of the best hours I've had in a long, long time.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to preface what I said before because Frank was saying how amazing these guys are. They're so amazing. The company is run like a smooth oil machine. You haven't seen guys like this before. And I'm like, all right, well, the bar is here coming into it. So I was expecting it to be a little lower, but it actually went even higher. I'm like, oh my gosh, like everything you said. There are very few times, I'm sure you guys can attest to in this industry too, where you're told this and then they go this way. But with you guys, it was just as straight as it can be. So Kevin, with you, when everybody came together, talk to me a little bit about what that dinner did and like what we've done since then.
It was the honey badger tattoo for me.
The honey badger tattoo.
That's right. When I saw that, I was done. Now, for me, we're not fancy people. We're not highfalutin people. We're grinders. We just go to work every day and grind. And I'll give you just a little example, Krem, of what happened in my mind. I drove to Cleveland, Ohio 2 weeks ago or a week ago to be with you. Yeah. And you don't even know this, but I'm very observant. I got my eyes open and my ears open. I'm watching all the time. I might look like I'm not paying attention, but I am. And a woman was in that forum that we were at, and she might have been the biggest producer in that entire forum and a world renowned, like a nationally known realtor. Yeah. And I was watching how she connected to you and how she communicated with you, how she looked you in the eye, and how much value she got from you. And that for me, I already knew, but that solidified what I already had known, because that lady wasn't joking. She
Yeah.
needed you in her life. She saw value in what you brought. And to be at the level she already was at, has already attained, and to still be seeking out people that can make her better and put you in the group as someone that can make her better was very impressive to me. And you probably don't even, I know you know who I'm talking about now.
Yeah, I do.
You probably don't even know I even knew that conversation was going on.
I
But
did not.
I look at, I've been very blessed in my life. I've made a lot of money, and I have a great life. But for me, it's about others. It's just about helping others. And it's no longer has anything to do about me. And I just want to help people have better lives. And a guy that Owen and I have paid a lot of money to help us, named Dale Vermillion, taught us this others first mindset. And we wear these little bracelets that say others first. And when I met Frank, Frank's an others first type of guy.
Yeah.
And when I dissected Velocity of Money, I thought, I wish someone had made me do this years ago. I do it now, and thankfully I wasn't too late to the party. But I have a guy that we do loans for that he's 32, and he's on his 9th property. And the guy owns about $2.1 million worth of real estate that currently he only owes about 1.2 million on. So he's got about 900,000 in liquid.
Yeah.
He's going to be 42 years old and own all those properties free and clear. And it's just life-changing stuff if done properly. The problem is the HGTV syndrome. When you think you can watch a TV show for 30 minutes and go become a house flipper, it's just not true. There's 1,000 articles on the internet about how all those shows are fake, you know?
Yeah.
There's a reason those articles are written. This is not an easy thing to do, but with proper guidance, with proper real estate consultative services, with proper mortgage consultative services, it's really an avenue to create wealth. And I'm just excited because I have real world experience and real life examples of people that's come true. So when I knew you, and I met your brother at that dinner too, and he's amazing, and you guys are the polar opposite, but I love that counterbalance. And I thought in my head, I can grow with these guys. And if I provide value to them, maybe they will in part provide value to me. And that's what a partnership is when like-minded folks that are properly aligned provide value for each other selflessly in the effort to make the other one better. And that's what I saw in you and your brother. And that's what I continue to see. And that's what I want to help with your organization, because your organization is incredible. I've learned a ton about it in the last 6 months. I'm excited as hell to be part of that and to help people have better lives. So that's it for me.
Yeah, and Kevin, on the HGTV thing, it's like she's a finger painter and he's a basket weaver. $2 million house. You know, I'm like,
it's insane. It's insane.
So ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You know, Frank, I just want to ask you as we're wrapping this up, what are you most excited for in the opportunity that we'll be able to give agents and homeowners alike?
Well, for agents, I'm so excited that, guys like Jay Kinder and, I got to meet Al Stasek last week and, they get it, right? Like Jay's been teaching this for years. Yeah. And it's two things, right? For buyers agents, how to have better, deeper, more educational conversations with your buyers. Yeah. We're going to be a commodity until we educate. Once loan officers and realtors educate the consumer, we have value. So we're going to make them better with the buyers. With the past database, we're going to make them better with their past database, because people should be buying an investment property. People should be getting a second home or a vacation rental. We're going to teach them how to have those conversations. Then for consumer, the best thing is, should I tell them the number now or should we wait till a later date? How many properties the consumer needs to own to paint the picture? Should we wait?
Yeah, let's wait.
Let's wait. All right. So there's a number, right? There's a number of properties that we each need to own to retire with $12,000 to $15,000 a month of cash flow and be worth $1 million to $2 million outright. We won't tell you the number now, but it's not a huge number. So I want the consumers to understand that it's not as hard as they think it is. The gap in their mind is here. We show them that it's here. And it's actually a very systematic approach, depending on where they're at in their lives. We're going to get them there. They just have to listen, and they can't take their equity out of their home and buy a Lamborghini. They have to just do it systematically. So realtors, we're going to make you better. Homeowners, we're going to change your lives. And we're so excited because we all make decent money, right? I can pay my bills right now. Yeah. That's not what God said to me. He said, you're going to help 10,000 people retire. And that's what I'm passionate about.
I love it. So guys, I'm really excited for this partnership and what we have undergoing. And real estate agents, if you believe who you partner with matters, if you believe that your loan officer should be in business with you, helping you curate business, helping you get across the finish line, and if you believe that you want to triple your business without spending a dime in leader ads, comment First Access and I'll get you that First Access look to make sure that you guys can partner with us and learn how you can take your business to the next level. Kevin, Owen, Frank, I'm so excited that we've finally been able to get to announce this. I don't have to whisper it. I don't have to go in corner and tell people, all right, here's what we're doing. Now we are here. Creme Capital, Velocity of Money, and Success Mortgage Partners. Guys, thank you so much for your time today, and I'll be seeing you guys soon.
Thank you.
Everybody.